Hello friend, so glad you're here tonight. Get comfortable, pull the covers up, and let the day loosen its grip. There's nowhere else you need to be. Before we begin, a small request. Most of the people listening tonight aren't subscribed. If this channel has ever helped you drift off, take a moment to subscribe and tap the like button on tonight's video. Both are free, they take 2 seconds, and they help this channel more than you'd think. And you can always change your mind later. And if you feel like it, leave a comment telling me where in the world you're listening from and what time it is where you are. I love reading them. Tonight is a slow drift through the real story of Blackbeard, one true thing at a time. There is nothing to do here and nothing to remember. Each one will pass like a slow cloud, some familiar, some quietly surprising, all of them real. If you fall asleep somewhere in the middle, that is exactly how this is meant to work. Settle in, let your breathing slow down, and we all begin. One more thing before we begin. I'm also a co-founder of a sleep app, built to be the most affordable one out there. No ads, ever. Just sounds and stories made to help you sleep. It may not be released yet as this video goes up, but if you're watching a little later, it might be out by now. Just search for it, it should be easy to find. It works on iPhone, Android, and everything in between. Downloading it is the best way to support this channel. On 22 November 1718, Blackbeard met his fate. The date was marked by a violent encounter off the coast of North Carolina. Governor Alexander Spotswood had ordered an expedition against him that very month. This battle would be Blackbeard's last. It took place in broad daylight, under clear skies. The sea was calm, with only gentle waves lapping at the sides of the vessels. The air was thick with tension and the acrid smell of gunpowder. The fight raged on until the end came swiftly for Blackbeard, his fate sealed by the skilled hands of Lieutenant Robert Maynard's men. The end came as a volley of shots rang out, striking Blackbeard down. His body was found riddled with wounds, the final markers of his infamous career. The tale of his demise was carried back to shore by the victorious crew, providing a vivid account of that fateful day. It served as a stark reminder of the perils faced by those who dared challenge the law at sea. The battle's outcome ensured that Blackbeard's reign of terror on the seas came to an abrupt end. The crew's detailed account, later recorded in official documents, preserved the events for posterity. Witnesses recounted seeing Blackbeard fall amidst the flurry of gunfire, his once formidable figure reduced to lifelessness. The stark reality of his defeat underscored the ruthless nature of sea warfare, leaving a lasting imprint on the collective memory. The calm sea belied the chaos unfolding aboard the vessels. The clash of steel and the roar of cannon fire echoed across the water. Blood seeped into the deck, leaving traces of the fierce struggle. Witnesses watched from a distance, their breaths held in suspense as the drama played out. Edward Teach, more famously known as Blackbeard, met his end in the year 1718. This date marks the conclusion of a life that was anything but ordinary. Born around the year 1660 in the United Kingdom, Blackbeard's journey took him across the vast oceans to a life of infamy as an English pirate. The exact details of his death remain shrouded in history, yet it is known that he died on November 22, 1718 during a battle with British forces led by Lieutenant Robert Maynard. This event signifies the end of an era for one of the most notorious figures of piracy, whose legend continues to be told centuries later. The precise circumstances surrounding Blackbeard's demise are uncertain, with varying accounts from different sources. However, it is generally accepted that he was killed during the engagement with Maynard's forces. This understanding comes from historical records and eyewitness reports that describe the event in detail. The end of Blackbeard signalled a shift in the landscape of piracy as his influence on the seas began to wane. His death marked a turning point in maritime history, as his absence left a void that no other pirate could fill. The details of his final moments were pieced together through accounts from sailors who witnessed the battle firsthand. These stories, passed down through generations, paint a vivid picture of Blackbeard's last stand against the British forces. Over time, these narratives have become essential in understanding the legacy he left behind. The exact manner of his death, whether by sword or shot, remains debated among historians. The grim details were recounted in journals and logs, offering glimpses into the intensity of that fateful day. These writings serve as tangible links to the past, preserving the memory of Blackbeard's final moments. The very absence of a definitive account adds to the mystique surrounding his end. Blackbeard's fleet blockaded Charlestown, now Charleston, in May 1718. The port of this South Carolina city was sealed off by Blackbeard and his flagship, Queen Anne's Revenge. This powerful vessel, along with others in his fleet, prevented ships from entering or leaving the harbour. The blockade lasted for several days, causing significant disruption to trade and travel. Blackbeard demanded medical supplies as ransom, a stark reminder of the power he wielded over the city's affairs. The townspeople were held hostage by this action, unable to move freely until Blackbeard's demands were met. This historical event is well documented in the annals of piracy, providing insight into the strategic moves and control that Blackbeard exerted during his reign. Blackbeard's blockade highlighted his ability to control a city without direct combat. It underscored the fragility of coastal communities in the early 18th century. The specifics of this event were gleaned from historical accounts and letters written by townspeople at the time. This strategy allowed Blackbeard to avoid direct confrontation with local militias, focusing instead on economic pressure. This siege demonstrated Blackbeard's adeptness in manipulating fear and dependence. The town's vulnerability was exposed by his strategic isolation. Historical documents detail the townspeople's anxiety during this period. His tactics revealed a deep understanding of coastal life. Blackbeard's actions illustrated the extent to which pirates could dictate terms without physical force. The city's inability to resist highlighted their reliance on supplies and trade routes. Historical records provide detailed accounts of the townspeople's responses, capturing the atmosphere of unease during the blockade. The real name of Blackbeard is Edward Thatch. This English pirate, infamous for his long black beard and fearsome reputation, was born with the name Edward Thatch, though it is often spelled Teach in historical records. The name Edward Thatch comes from documents found after his death, providing evidence of his true identity. Scholars have studied these documents to confirm that Blackbeard's real name was indeed Edward Thatch. Over time, the name has become synonymous with the legendary pirate, cementing its place in history. The documents discovered after Blackbeard's demise reveal his true identity, offering insight into the life of this notorious figure. Through meticulous examination, historians have verified that Edward Thatch is indeed the name behind the iconic pirate persona. This revelation sheds light on the man beneath the legend, providing a clearer picture of his existence. The confirmation comes from carefully preserved records, ensuring an accurate account of his life. This discovery helps us understand Blackbeard as a real person, not just a myth. The document's details provide concrete evidence that supports his true identity. By studying these historical records, scholars gain valuable insights into the pirate's life and times. This careful analysis allows for a more accurate depiction of Edward Thatch's experiences and deeds. Edward Thatch's true name is preserved in documents, ensuring his historical presence is known. The confirmation aligns with accounts from his time, solidifying our understanding. Each detail in the records contributes to a clearer portrait of him. Studying these sources provides tangible facts about his life. Blackbeard's ship was named Queen Anne's Revenge, a fitting title for his infamous vessel. This massive ship, carrying approximately 300 men and equipped with 40 cannon, was a formidable sight on the seas. The name harkens back to Blackbeard's earlier service as a privateer during Queen Anne's War, before he turned to piracy. His decision to keep the ship's name reflects his defiance against the crown, symbolizing a bold rebellion. Records of this powerful vessel are preserved in historical accounts, detailing its journey from a tool of war to an instrument of Blackbeard's reign over the seas. This name, Queen Anne's Revenge, held deep significance for Blackbeard. It was a declaration of his past loyalty, now twisted into rebellion. The ship's logs from that era offer insights into its transformation. Through these records, we witness the evolution of a war machine into a symbol of defiance. The name Queen Anne's Revenge signified a turning point in Blackbeard's journey, marking his shift from a commissioned privateer to an outlaw. This choice of nomenclature was not merely symbolic, but also a strategic statement, conveying both his familiarity with the vessel and his desire to challenge the establishment. Historical documents reveal that the ship's name change occurred after Blackbeard seized it from its original French owner, further emphasizing his audacious defiance against authority. The name served as a reminder of his former allegiance, now repurposed to challenge that same system. It signified his refusal to be forgotten or dismissed by those he once served. The act of naming the ship revealed Blackbeard's intent to be recognized, even if it was through infamy. This choice illuminated his understanding of symbolism as a powerful tool in both war and rebellion. In the year 1718, Blackbeard surrendered to Alexander Spotswood in Beaufort, Virginia. This surrender marked an end to his reign of piracy, a fact known from historical records. The pardon granted to him signified a change in his status, from outlaw to a man under the protection of the law. It was a quiet ceremony, perhaps held in the dim light of a small room where Blackbeard's sword was taken and his freedom restored. This act was not uncommon during that time, as many pirates chose to surrender rather than face certain death. The decision to pardon him likely came from the governor himself, recognizing the benefit of removing a threat without bloodshed. His surrender was a calculated move, understanding that survival depended on compliance with authority. The pardon reflected the governor's strategic foresight in minimizing conflict. Historical accounts preserve the details of this event, offering insights into the political landscape of the era. Blackbeard's decision likely stemmed from a realization that his days were numbered, with no certainty of victory in further conflicts. The pardon acknowledged the pragmatic approach of the time, prioritizing peace over retribution. This event underscored the evolving dynamics between law and outlaws, marking a shift towards negotiation. Historical documents from that period provide vivid descriptions of such encounters, preserving them for future generations to study. This surrender represented a moment where the power dynamics between ruler and outlaw were subtly rebalanced. It revealed an understanding that negotiation could sometimes supplant violence in achieving control. The careful recording of this event by chroniclers of the time highlights its significance, providing a window into the governing strategies of the period. These accounts serve as a reminder of the complex interplay between law and those who defy it, showcasing the adaptability of both sides. Blackbeard's death occurred on November 27, 1718, near Ocracoke Island, North Carolina. This day marked the end of his infamous career in a naval battle that took place at Pamlico Sound, a shallow body of water between the mainland and the Outer Banks where he met his final fate. The waters of this sound are known for their calmness, but on that November day, they were the site of a fierce struggle. It is said that Blackbeard's ship was surrounded by British naval forces, led by Lieutenant Robert Maynard. The battle was intense and personal, with Maynard himself eventually delivering the fatal blow to Blackbeard. After his death, his body was thrown overboard into the Pamlico Sound, leaving behind a legacy that has become part of the island's lore. Today, visitors can still explore the area where this historic event took place, feeling the weight of history in every step they take along the shoreline. The shallow depths of Pamlico Sound, usually a serene environment, bear witness to the echoes of this tumultuous event. The calm waters that day turned red with the bloodshed, forever changing their tranquil nature. Artifacts from the battle have been discovered in the sands over time, offering tangible evidence of the fierce struggle that took place. Visitors often find themselves immersed in a profound sense of history as they walk along the shore where Blackbeard's fate was sealed. The Pamlico Sound, typically a sanctuary for marine life, still hides remnants of this storied past. Archaeologists carefully sift through sediment, uncovering fragments of history that whisper tales of the battle. Each artifact discovered sheds light on the events that unfolded centuries ago, offering insights into the lives and conflicts of those who came before us. The shallows bear silent witness to the clash, their secrets gradually revealed by the patient hands of time. Blackbeard sailed the Caribbean and the Atlantic coast of North America during his piracy career. He navigated from one tropical island to another, the salt air always in his lungs. The warm waters of the Caribbean Sea were his home base, where he could hide among countless coves and reefs. Along the east coast of North America, he preyed on merchant ships, their sails glinting in the sunlight as they carried valuable cargo. His ship, the Queen Anne's Revenge, plied these waters relentlessly, its black flag a chilling sight to any vessel it approached. The vastness of the open sea provided ample room for his criminal pursuits, while the coastal towns and cities offered opportunities for resupply and trade. It was in these waters that Blackbeard's legend grew, as sailors shared tales of his daring exploits under the starlit sky. The constant breeze filled his sails, propelling him towards his next target. His keen eyes scanned the horizon for signs of ships or hidden treasures. The rhythm of the waves rocked his vessel gently, as if guiding it safely through the night. The open sea offered no boundaries, allowing him to weave a trail of adventure and intrigue. The endless horizon was his refuge, hiding him from the law's watchful gaze. The sea's embrace offered solace and freedom, away from societal constraints. Each tide brought whispers of distant shores and untold riches, beckoning him ever onward. The moonlit path on the water served as his guide, illuminating his course through the night. Blackbeard's name has been attached to various local attractions, such as Charleston's Blackbeard's Cove. Over time, the legend of Blackbeard has woven itself into the fabric of coastal communities. Places like Blackbeard's Cove in Charleston stand as concrete reminders of his presence. The name Blackbeard is not just a historical figure, but also a brand for local businesses. The cove, with its slow-moving waters and weathered signs, bears witness to the pirate's enduring influence. Visitors often pause at the entrance, their eyes scanning the faded letters that spell out his name. The shoreline, dotted with seashells and the occasional driftwood, feels like a living museum of sorts. As the sun sets, the lights in the nearby buildings cast long shadows on the water's surface, perhaps hinting at the darker side of Blackbeard's legacy. The faded paint on the cove's signage is a tangible connection to the past. The quiet waters reflect the sky, mirroring the passage of time. A sense of continuity permeates the air, as if the spirits of old sailors still linger. The gentle swaying of nearby trees seems to echo whispers from bygone eras. The creaking of the old wooden dock seems to mimic the sway of a ship at sea, while the salty breeze carries a faint memory of distant shores. A lone seagull perched on a weathered post observes the scene with an air of timelessness, its gaze unchanged by passing centuries. The slow ebb and flow of the tide brings in new treasures from the deep, as if whispering tales of voyages long ago. The faint glow of a distant lighthouse sends a soft beam across the water, guiding both past and present navigators. The name Edward Thatch, or Teach, is often given to the pirate known as Blackbeard, suggesting a connection between his pseudonym and these names. Records of the time period frequently mention him under these titles, supporting their association with the infamous figure. The use of various spellings implies that his real name was not consistently recorded, leaving historians to speculate on the correct spelling. Manuscripts from ships and officials he encountered provide a glimpse into how he was addressed during his time at sea. The names Edward Thatch and Teach are found in numerous documents and accounts, cementing their link to Blackbeard's identity. The inconsistency in his name's spelling indicates a possible illiteracy or lack of standardized record keeping. The repeated mention of these names across different sources underscores their reliability. The historical context provides insight into how names were used and interpreted during that era. Manuscripts serve as primary evidence for understanding the identity and actions of figures like Blackbeard. The name variations may also reflect regional dialects or accents, as names were often pronounced and written according to local customs. The repeated use of these names in official logs suggests they were accepted by those who encountered him. This consistency implies a shared understanding among mariners and authorities about his identity. The prevalence of these names in contemporary records indicates that they were commonly used during his lifetime. Despite his infamy, no definitive birth record or family history for Blackbeard has been found. It is possible that he assumed different names throughout his life to evade authorities. The inconsistency in records may also hint at a deliberate attempt to obscure his true identity. Evidence from the period indicates that aliases were common among pirates, making it difficult to trace their origins. The Blackbeard Island, white-tailed deer is listed as critically endangered. This small population of deer, specific to the island, faces a high risk of extinction. They inhabit an area no larger than the island itself, making them particularly vulnerable to threats such as disease and habitat loss. Over time, observations by wildlife researchers have revealed their declining numbers. The remote location of Blackbeard Island makes monitoring efforts challenging, yet crucial for understanding their status. The lack of genetic diversity in this isolated group is a significant concern, increasing the urgency for conservation efforts. Slowly, the island's landscape changes with each passing day, posing further risks to these delicate creatures. Their survival depends on meticulous preservation strategies, implemented by dedicated professionals who work tirelessly to ensure their continued existence. These deer are the only ones of their kind left in this world, making them unique and irreplaceable. The island's isolation keeps them separate from other deer populations, limiting their chances for genetic exchange. Through careful observation and tracking, researchers have found that their numbers continue to dwindle over time. Each deer lost is a step closer to the possibility of none remaining. The deer's isolation, a result of the island's remote location, has prevented them from interbreeding with other populations, thus preserving their unique genetic traits. Observations over the years have shown a steady decline in their numbers due to various factors, including disease and habitat degradation. The lack of human activity on the island has both protected and hindered their survival, as it limits their exposure to direct threats, but also makes conservation efforts more difficult. The deer's dependence on the island's vegetation for sustenance adds another layer of vulnerability, as changes in plant life could further diminish their chances of survival. Blackbeard was ambushed by British naval forces led by Lieutenant Robert Maynard during the Battle of Ocracoke. This battle took place in the shallow waters off the coast of North Carolina, where Blackbeard's ship, the Queen Anne's Revenge, faced off against two smaller British ships. The British forces were intent on capturing or eliminating the notorious pirate who had been terrorizing shipping routes in the Atlantic and Caribbean. As the battle unfolded, Blackbeard fought fiercely, but he was ultimately overwhelmed by the sheer number of his attackers. Despite his best efforts, Blackbeard could not avoid the fate that awaited him. Lieutenant Maynard's men managed to kill him during the fighting. The details of this confrontation have been preserved through historical accounts and records, offering a glimpse into the violent world of 18th century piracy. The battlefield was a chaos of splintering wood and crashing waves as the ships exchanged brutal broadsides. Every advantage Blackbeard had gained through his years of cunning and ruthlessness seemed to evaporate in the face of overwhelming force. The pirates' resistance faded with each volley, their numbers dwindling until only Blackbeard stood defiant against the onslaught. Historians have pieced together this final stand from surviving logs and eyewitness accounts, shedding light on the pivotal moment in piracy's waning era. The battle's legacy endures through the remnants of Blackbeard's ship, still lying in shallow waters. Historical documents and artifacts provide tangible evidence of the conflict. Scholars continue to study these sources to unravel more details about the battle and its significance. The total cash prize in the Blackbeard treasure is 10 million. This substantial sum would fill countless chests, each brimming with glimmering coins. A fortune so vast it could construct a monument of unparalleled grandeur or fund expeditions that traverse the globe many times over. Such wealth is not merely speculative, it has been meticulously researched and verified by historians and archaeologists over decades. They painstakingly sift through remnants found along coasts and study ancient maps to calculate its exact worth. The figure stands as a reminder of the opulence once commanded by the infamous pirate captain. It is also an enticement, drawing treasure hunters who dream of uncovering such riches hidden beneath the sand or in long-forgotten caves. This treasure's allure is strengthened by the precision of its valuation, making it a concrete goal for aspiring explorers. The historical records and artifacts pieced together like a puzzle reveal the magnitude of this lost fortune. The thorough analysis of these remnants offers a tangible target for those seeking to reclaim history's riches. The documentation of this prize serves as a beacon, guiding those who wish to reclaim what was lost. The careful study of remnants has mapped out potential locations, offering tangible paths for explorers. This knowledge is the culmination of decades of meticulous research and examination. Each artifact found adds another piece to the puzzle, steadily unveiling the truth behind this hidden wealth. This vast sum, diligently calculated over time, provides a clear objective for adventurers. Each fragment of evidence contributes to the comprehensive understanding of this hidden treasure. The methodical analysis of these remnants has illuminated the path toward this lost fortune. This knowledge, steadily accumulated, offers concrete guidance in the quest for rediscovery. Blackbeard's treasure is indeed a side quest in Assassin's Creed Black Flag, known to players who explore the underwater cave near Anoto Bay. In this cave, hidden beneath the water's surface, lies a treasure map that unlocks this particular quest. To reach this map, one must navigate through dimly lit waters, feeling their way along the cave walls until they uncover the map's location. The quest itself involves traversing various landscapes and confronting challenges designed to test the player's skills. Upon completion, the rewards are tangible, money and experience points that enhance the gameplay experience. This is a well-known aspect of the game, documented in many guides and walkthroughs, serving as an example of how the game weaves historical elements into its narrative. The map's placement in the underwater cave is a subtle hint at the real-world location where treasure hunters have long sought Blackbeard's riches. By embedding this quest within a historic context, the game designers encourage players to explore and uncover hidden depths of both the virtual world and real history. Through careful research and attention to detail, developers were able to create an authentic atmosphere that immerses players in the era. Over time, as more players discovered and shared their experiences, the quest became a beloved piece of the game's lore. The underwater cave's darkness adds to the quest's challenge, requiring players to rely on their senses and patience. The map's placement in this secluded area underscores the game's commitment to realism, emulating the secretive nature of historical treasures. This side quest design encourages careful exploration, a skill valued both in the game world and in the real-world pursuit of knowledge. The treasure map's discovery is often a satisfying moment for players, highlighting the joy of uncovering hidden secrets within Assassin's Creed Black Flag. The popular depiction of Blackbeard's flag with a two-horned skeleton and a bleeding heart was indeed created by a journalist in 1911. This image, now so familiar, did not exist during the time of Blackbeard himself. It is a modern creation, brought to life over a century after his reign on the seas. A journalist, skilled in words and images, crafted this depiction for a newspaper article. The skeleton's two horns and the heart-dripping blood were chosen to evoke a sense of dread and danger. This flag has since become iconic, often seen flying from masts in pirate-themed settings, though it is not an artifact from Blackbeard's time. The flag's iconic status is a result of its vivid imagery, which has been perpetuated through popular media and culture. The absence of any historical documentation verifying this specific design suggests it was never used by Blackbeard himself. The discovery that the flag is a modern creation highlights the power of storytelling in shaping historical perceptions. The journalistic creation of Blackbeard's flag underscores how historical narratives can evolve over time. This modern interpretation, while vivid and memorable, does not align with any known records from the pirates' era. Its widespread adoption in popular culture highlights our tendency to embrace compelling stories, even when they differ from documented facts. The revelation that this flag is a recent invention serves as a reminder to question and verify historical details. The realization that Blackbeard's flag is a modern invention highlights how historical symbols can emerge from creative interpretations rather than direct historical evidence. This discovery emphasizes the dynamic nature of historical understanding, where myth and reality often intertwine. The absence of historical documentation for this specific design indicates a reliance on imaginative storytelling to fill gaps in our knowledge. Understanding the origin of such symbols helps us distinguish between factual history and its cultural interpretations. Taika Waititi is cast as Blackbeard in Our Flag Means Death. David Jenkins and Garrett Bash are involved in discussions about this casting choice. These conversations take place behind closed doors, with the soft hum of voices exchanging ideas. The script for Our Flag Means Death includes a scene where the characters discuss Taika Waititi portraying Blackbeard. This is not just a casual mention, but a significant part of the storyline, woven into the narrative like a golden thread. As the actors rehearse this scene, they lean in, their faces bathed in the warm light of the studio. The words about Taika Waititi's casting roll off their tongues, each syllable clear and distinct. This is how the world comes to know that Taika Waititi will take on the role of Blackbeard. The knowledge of Waititi's role spread through whispers and hints until it became an open secret, eagerly awaited by fans. The decision to cast him was influenced by his versatility as an actor and director, a factor that added weight to the storyline. Behind the scenes, the casting choice sparked discussions about the character's potential development under Waititi's interpretation. Over time, leaks and speculations solidified the news until it was finally confirmed. The decision was met with cautious optimism from industry insiders, who saw Waititi's unique vision as a potential game-changer for the character. The gradual unfolding of this information allowed fans to speculate on how Waititi would bring his signature style to the role. Behind the scenes, preparations were made to ensure that Waititi could fully embody the complexities of Blackbeard. The anticipation built slowly, with each new detail adding depth to the growing excitement. Each Golden Age pirate captain flew a distinctive flag for personal identification. These flags, hoisted high above the ship's deck, served as a symbol of the captain's presence and authority. The sight of such flags instilled a sense of identity among the crew, reminding them of their leader's unique qualities and commands. During this Golden Age, spanning from approximately 1650 to 1730, pirates like Blackbeard sailed the seas, each under their own recognizable banner. The Golden Age reached its end with the demise of notorious captains, including Blackbeard himself. His death in 1718 signified a closure to this era of piracy, leaving behind a legacy that included his distinct flag. These flags were crucial for rallying the crew under their captain's leadership, providing a clear visual cue during encounters. The distinctiveness of each flag helped allies recognize and trust the ship's intent. Historical records and preserved artifacts have allowed modern researchers to reconstruct and study these banners. The design and color of each flag carried symbolic meaning, often reflecting the captain's origins or personal beliefs. These flags were typically displayed during naval engagements, helping allies differentiate between friend and foe. The study of these flags has provided insights into the social hierarchy and cultural practices among pirates during this period. Researchers have analyzed historical paintings and written accounts to decode the meanings behind various flag designs. The distinctiveness of each flag also aided in maintaining order among the crew, ensuring that everyone knew their place and role. These flags were often handcrafted with intricate details, reflecting both practical considerations for visibility at sea and the captain's desire to project an image of power. The preserved remnants of these flags have been subjected to detailed analysis, including scrutiny of fibers and dyes used to better understand their creation process. Instant Beard Color for Men by Blackbeard for Men is hypoallergenic. This means that the formula is designed to minimize irritation and allergic reactions on the skin, even when applied daily. The product can be used not only on facial hair but also on sideburns and eyebrows, ensuring a consistent color throughout. It is an instant solution, providing temporary beard color with just a brush-on application. The hypoallergenic nature has been confirmed through careful testing and user feedback, making it suitable for various skin types. The gentle formula allows men to achieve the desired look without experiencing discomfort or adverse reactions. This attribute is crucial for those who may have sensitive skin or are prone to allergies. The hypoallergenic property is achieved by using non-irritating ingredients. This consideration ensures safety for those with skin sensitivities. The formulation process involved rigorous testing to confirm its suitability. User experiences have further validated the product's gentle nature. The hypoallergenic formula is crafted with care, ensuring that each ingredient is selected to minimize potential skin irritations. This dedication to safety means users can apply the product confidently, knowing their skin will be protected. The gentle ingredients work together harmoniously to create a soothing effect on the skin, maintaining its natural health. User feedback has been integral in refining the formula, ensuring it meets the needs of those with sensitive skin. The hypoallergenic formula is free from common irritants like dyes and fragrances. This attribute was discovered through extensive lab tests and real-world trials. The absence of these components ensures a safer application for all users. Careful ingredient selection and regular updates to the formula have maintained its gentle nature. The game Blackbeard was developed by John A.W.A. White. This means that every feature and function of the game originated from his mind. He would have spent countless hours in front of a computer screen, coding and refining each detail. Through this process, he brought to life a world that players could explore. His work was eventually shared with the public, allowing others to experience what he had created. The fact that we know who developed the game comes from various sources, such as the credits listed within the game itself or through interviews and articles about its creation. The game Blackbeard is a reflection of John A. White's vision as he designed every aspect. This vision was then translated into code, line by line, to create the game's reality. His work did not go unnoticed, as the credits in the game and external reports confirm his role. Every decision within Blackbeard, from character design to game mechanics, stems from John A. White's choices. His name in the credits serves as a record of this creative journey. Over time, recognition for his work has grown through mentions in various media outlets. This recognition underscores his influence on the gaming community. The game's credits acknowledge John A. White as the primary architect behind its existence, solidifying his role in its creation. His efforts have left a distinct imprint on Blackbeard, with each element meticulously crafted under his direction. The acknowledgement of his work within the game itself and external documents serves as a tangible record of his contribution. Over time, this recognition has grown, highlighting the significance of his creative endeavors. In 1988, a video game named Blackbeard was released by Black Knight Software. This video game was created with the intention of entertaining users through interactive storytelling and challenges based on the pirate theme. The development process involved meticulous planning and coding to ensure that all elements of the game worked seamlessly together. Players could navigate through various levels, each designed to test their skills and keep them engaged. The packaging of the game included a manual with detailed instructions, enhancing the overall experience for those who purchased it. As technology advanced, this video game remained a notable entry in the gaming world, remembered for its unique theme and design. This classic title introduced many to the thrill of pirate-themed adventures, forever etching its name in gaming history. Its enduring popularity can be attributed to the careful balance between story and gameplay mechanics. Through word of mouth and reviews, enthusiasts learned of its engaging content and shared their experiences with others. The legacy of Blackbeard continues to inspire modern games, carrying forward its pirate spirit. The game's pirate setting offered players a fresh perspective, deviating from typical themes of the era. Its success demonstrated that innovative ideas can resonate deeply with audiences. Reviews and player testimonials revealed a strong emotional connection to the storyline. The immersive experience left lasting impressions on those who played it. Blackbeard's pirate theme provided players with a new world to explore, one that differed from other games of its time. This exploration was enhanced by intricate details and careful attention given to the game's environment and storyline. The game's popularity spread slowly but steadily, reaching more players through shared experiences and recommendations. These recommendations highlighted the unique aspects of Blackbeard, further solidifying its place in gaming history. A small number of Africans joined Blackbeard's crew either as captives or voluntarily. This speaks to the diverse nature of pirate crews in that era, where people from various backgrounds were drawn into this life by necessity or choice. Some Africans may have been taken against their will during raids, while others might have seen piracy as a means of escaping harsh conditions. Historical records suggest that African individuals served on Blackbeard's ships, contributing to the crew's multicultural makeup. The surfaces of these ships bore witness to this diversity, with people from different continents working side by side. The low light of nighttime watches would have illuminated faces from all over the world. This fact reveals that even in the harsh reality of piracy, there was a coming together of disparate lives, bound by circumstance and shared experiences. The ship's decks echoed with a symphony of languages, each a whisper from distant shores. The shared labours of sailing and combat forged bonds that transcended origins. Artifacts recovered from wreckage hint at the personal items African crew members carried, preserving their stories beneath the waves. These remnants serve as silent witnesses to their presence and participation in Blackbeard's infamous ventures. These crew members' stories, echoing through history, highlight a complex interplay between voluntary participation and coercion. The daily tasks they performed together fostered an environment of mutual reliance, where individual strengths were valued regardless of origin. Fragments of pottery and beads found in shipwrecks provide tangible evidence of their journey, preserving a chapter often overlooked in historical accounts. Some Africans joined pirate crews voluntarily, seeking freedom. This meant leaving behind the oppression and bondage they faced on land, exchanging it for a life at sea. The open waters offered a sense of liberation, away from the watchful eyes of slave owners. Pirate ships were communities where members could find a new sense of belonging and purpose. Historical records reveal that many Africans chose this path, seeing it as a viable escape route. These records include ship logs and personal accounts of both pirates and captives. The decision to join was not one made lightly. It required courage and resilience. Over time, the presence of African pirates became more common, their contributions integral to the crew's dynamics. Their presence challenged existing notions of race and hierarchy as they navigated uncharted waters alongside their crew. This choice also reflected a deep-seated desire for autonomy, breaking free from societal norms that shackled them. Their integration into pirate culture underscored the fluidity of identities at sea, where survival was the primary goal. Through shared hardships and triumphs, these individuals became crucial components of their crew's success. The act of joining pirate crews signified a profound yearning for self-determination. Historical documentation provides insight into the complex motivations driving this choice. The lives of these individuals highlight the profound impact of oppression on personal decisions. These Africans, in their pursuit of freedom, found that the ocean offered a space where societal constraints could be transcended. The fluidity of pirate life provided an environment where they could redefine their roles and identities. Historical documentation shows that these individuals were not merely passengers on the ships, but active participants who contributed significantly to the crew's operations. Their choices reflect a profound understanding of the liberating potential of the sea, far from the shackles of land-based oppression. In the year 1718, Blackbeard's most famous encounter with the British Navy took place. This event occurred on the vast and often treacherous waters of the ocean, where ships sailed under canvas, guided by the stars above. The British Navy was a formidable force, their vessels equipped with cannons ready to fire at any moment. Blackbeard, known for his fearsome reputation, navigated these seas in his own ship, a symbol of his defiance against authority. Over time, records have surfaced that detail this particular encounter, allowing historians to piece together the events that unfolded during that fateful year. Blackbeard's ship, adorned with dark sails and fearsome flags, became a spectre on the ocean's surface. This encounter revealed the British Navy's relentless pursuit of pirates who dared challenge their authority. Through historical logs and maps, scholars have traced Blackbeard's movements across the unpredictable seas. The battle's outcome has been debated, but it underscored the ongoing struggle between rebels and empire. Through the foggy haze, Blackbeard's ship emerged as a dark silhouette against the water's surface. The clash between the pirate vessel and the naval fleet highlighted the ongoing power struggle in the maritime world. By deciphering old journals, researchers have reconstructed the strategic maneuvers employed during this confrontation. Meticulous analysis of surviving artifacts has deepened our understanding of the tactics used by both sides. The conflict served as a reminder of the fragile balance between independence and control on the high seas. Over time, accounts from both sides have painted a vivid picture of the confrontation's intensity. Scholars continue to scrutinize every detail from that era to uncover further insights into naval tactics and pirate strategies. The discovery of old navigational tools has provided glimpses into the precise movements and decisions made during the encounter. Blackbeard's fleet was composed of the ships Adventure, Jane, and Royal James, along with others. These vessels sailed together under his command, their masts reaching high into the sky. The wood of their hulls, weathered by sea and time, bore witness to countless voyages. Sails furled at night, the fleet would appear as dark silhouettes against the moonlit water. Each ship had its own crew, their hands familiar with the ropes and pulleys that controlled the sails. Over time, records and accounts of Blackbeard's exploits have been collected, detailing the composition of his fleet. These historical documents provide a clear picture of the ships he commanded, each one playing a role in his legendary adventures on the open sea. The fleet's composition underscored Blackbeard's strategic planning, with each ship serving a distinct purpose in his operations. The meticulous records kept by crew members and observers provided the foundation for understanding the makeup of his maritime force. These documents offered a glimpse into the logistical challenges faced during voyages, revealing the intricate balance needed to maintain such an array of ships. The fleet's composition also showcases Blackbeard's understanding of naval tactics, with smaller vessels for scouting and larger ones for combat. These records often detail mundane tasks like provisioning and maintenance, revealing the everyday efforts needed to sustain such a force. The crew's familiarity with each ship's capabilities suggests a high level of training and specialization within the fleet. The ships were chosen for their specific strengths, allowing Blackbeard to execute his plans with precision. Each vessel's design and size catered to different aspects of maritime strategy, reflecting a deep understanding of naval warfare. The crew's extensive knowledge of the fleet enabled seamless coordination among the ships during operations. Meticulous logs kept by the sailors provided invaluable insights into the fleet's capabilities and maintenance requirements. The marriage between Blackbeard and Mary Ormond took place in the year 1718, performed by Governor Charles Eden. A quiet ceremony it must have been, likely held within the governor's residence, a structure of wood and brick that had seen its share of history. The governor himself, dressed in attire befitting his status, would have stood before them, his voice calmly reciting the traditional vows. Mary Ormond, perhaps adorned with simple jewels, would have listened intently, her eyes reflecting the dim light of the room. Blackbeard, known for his fearsome reputation, might have appeared solemn under such circumstances, his presence commanding yet restrained. The governor's hand would have gently pressed on the Bible as he completed the rite, binding their fates together in a union that echoed through time. The ceremony's quietude likely reflected their shared past, as both were known to keep secrets. Its setting, within a historic residence, emphasized the political alliances being formed. The simplicity of Mary's attire suggested humility, while Blackbeard's restraint showed his respect for the occasion. The binding of fate signified a shift in power dynamics, a union that transcended their notorious histories. Their marriage not only symbolized a personal commitment, but also a political maneuver, solidifying their positions within the governing structures. The absence of grandeur in the ceremony suggested an intentional understatement, aiming to avoid unnecessary attention. The binding of two powerful individuals hinted at strategic alignment rather than mere affection. Historical records reveal that the union was not merely a romantic affair, but a calculated move to secure influence and protection. In the year 1718, a naval battle took place that would mark the end of Blackbeard's illustrious career. This pivotal event occurred on the calm waters of North Carolina, where the waves lapped gently against the sides of the ships. The sun hung low in the sky, casting long shadows across the decks as the sailors prepared for what they knew would be a decisive engagement. Historians have traced this battle through meticulous records and maps, allowing us to understand its significance in shaping the course of history. The echoes of cannon fire rang out over the quiet sea, disturbing the otherwise peaceful atmosphere. In the aftermath of the battle, the ships bore witness to the scars of combat, their once pristine surfaces now marred by the marks of warfare. The outcome of this conflict would forever alter the landscape of naval power, a legacy that endures to this day. The clash of ships brought an end to Blackbeard's reign, signifying a shift in power dynamics. This battlefield became a classroom for future naval strategists who studied the tactical decisions made on that day. Archival documents and artifacts from the encounter continue to provide insights into the era's combat techniques. The wreckage found years later served as concrete evidence of the ferocity and impact of this historical confrontation. The wreckage also offered clues about the weapons and strategies used in the battle. Artifacts recovered from the site include cannonballs and fragments of wooden hulls, which help researchers piece together what happened that day. By examining these remnants, historians gain a deeper understanding of the technical capabilities and limitations of the time. The meticulous study of these artifacts allows for more accurate reconstructions of events, enhancing our knowledge of naval warfare in the early 18th century. The early 18th century was indeed a time of significant piracy in the Caribbean and Atlantic. This period saw an increase in maritime activity, with more ships traversing these waters. The sea routes were heavily travelled due to trade and commerce between Europe, Africa, and the Americas. Pirates found ample opportunities amidst this bustling traffic. Historical records and surviving documents from the time provide evidence of the prevalence of piracy during this era. Ships sailing through these regions were often targeted for their valuable cargoes. The rise in piracy can be attributed to both economic factors and the decline of naval patrols. As ships navigated the blue waters, the threat of pirates was a constant concern among sailors. Pirates took advantage of this maritime traffic, positioning themselves in strategic locations to intercept ships. The threat posed by pirates was so significant that many ships travelled in convoys for protection. Letters and diaries from sailors of the time reveal the constant fear of pirate attacks. Survivors' accounts provide first-hand descriptions of these encounters, shedding light on the tactics used by pirates to overtake their prey. The waters were not safe for any vessel, regardless of size or origin. The constant fear of attack altered sailing routes and practices. Logs kept by ship captains detail the precautions taken to avoid known pirate hideouts. Accounts from captured sailors offer insights into how pirates maintained their networks of information. The frequent sightings of Jolly Roger flags in these waters served as a stark reminder of the pirates' presence. The strategic placement of lookouts on tall masts allowed ships to spot approaching threats early, offering some chance for evasion. The tales of survivors who managed to escape the clutches of these sea robbers spread quickly among sailing communities, reinforcing the need for vigilance. Detailed maps marking known pirate haunts became essential tools for navigators, guiding vessels towards safer routes. The battle that ended Blackbeard's career unfolded at Ocracoke Inlet, just southwest of Springer's Point. This serene nature trail still holds the memory of his final struggle. The confrontation is also known as the Battle of Ocracoke Inlet, where British forces clashed with the infamous pirate. Here, amidst the tranquil waters and nearby sandy shores, history played out its inevitable course. Visitors today can walk these paths, feeling the weight of time that has passed since Blackbeard's demise. The specific location provides a tangible connection to the past, allowing one to sense the tension and resolution that transpired centuries ago. The very ground beneath your feet echoes with the whispers of history. A simple walk can become a journey into the past, where every step is a reminder of the struggles that once played out here. The tranquility of the surroundings only serves to underscore the violence that has since faded away. This place carries the weight of its own story, allowing visitors to feel the echoes of the events that unfolded long ago. The calm sea breeze whispers tales of the past, carrying the faint echoes of cannon fire. The dunes bear silent witness to the turmoil that once consumed this shore. Each sunset casts a fleeting glow on the remnants of history, gently illuminating the path where pirates and sailors once stood. The serene landscape now conceals the secrets of its tumultuous past, inviting contemplation from those who tread softly upon it. Visitors often pause, eyes closed, to listen for echoes that may still linger in the air. Beneath the quiet surface of the waters, remnants of the past lie undisturbed, waiting patiently to be discovered once more. The wind-carved dunes whisper their ancient secrets to those who care to listen closely enough. A faint trace of salt and smoke, carried on the sea breeze, hints at the battles that once raged here. Did you know that before he became a pirate, Blackbeard was a privateer? He learned the ropes from another famous pirate named Benjamin Hornigold. Their time together started in the Caribbean Sea, aboard ships that were once sailing for glory and riches under legitimate flags. Blackbeard's ship, the one where he would later make his mark as the notorious Blackbeard, was originally commanded by Hornigold himself. Over time, these privateers turned to piracy, finding the open seas more rewarding than their initial ventures. It's a story that has been passed down through historical records and accounts of those who witnessed the transformation from legal sailors to infamous buccaneers. The Caribbean waters, once safe for merchants, became the playground of these renegade captains. Blackbeard's path from privateer to pirate underscores the allure of unrestrained freedom on the high seas. The shifting loyalties and opportunities available in maritime life could easily sway even the most disciplined sailors. Historical logs suggest that the transition was gradual, with each decision to defy naval codes bringing them closer to a life of piracy. The Caribbean's abundance of unguarded ships presented irresistible targets for those seeking fortune outside legal boundaries. The freedom to chart one's own course, unhindered by authority, proved a powerful lure. The prospect of riches and power, unconstrained by laws or regulations, was a compelling argument. This transformation from upstanding sailors to outlaws was not sudden, rather, it unfolded as a series of incremental choices. The temptation of hidden treasures and untold stories lured these men away from their previous paths. They found that the thrill of the chase was more enticing than any predetermined course. Each successful raid further emboldened them, as they realized the potential for wealth and influence that lay within their grasp. Their newfound independence also meant they could avoid the harsh realities of naval life, such as stringent rules and meager pay. The precise date of Blackbeard's birth is uncertain, believed to be around the year 1680. This estimate comes from historical records that mention a man named Edward Teach, who would later become known as Blackbeard, being active in the early 1700s. The lack of specific documentation from his early years makes it difficult for historians to pinpoint an exact date. They rely on other contextual clues and events from that time period to make their estimates. The fading ink on parchment and the passing of centuries have left us with hints rather than clear answers about Blackbeard's beginnings. Even the smallest details about Blackbeard's life are obscured by time, leaving historians to piece together his story like a puzzle with missing pieces. The fragility of ancient documents has further clouded the past, erasing clues that could have brought clarity. What remains are fragments of information, scattered across various sources and often incomplete or contradictory. Historians scrutinize every scrap of surviving text, hoping to glean more about Blackbeard's youth. Minuscule insights from period literature hint at his possible origins, yet concrete evidence eludes. Each preserved shred of information is analysed meticulously, as if under a magnifying glass. The scant knowledge we have is like glimpsing a faint shadow in the darkness, offering a sense of something greater that remains out of reach. Historians sift through crumbling pages, painstakingly reconstructing text to uncover any hidden details. The gradual decay of artifacts leaves us with fleeting glimpses into Blackbeard's past. Each faded line holds potential secrets waiting to be deciphered. As centuries pass, the trail grows colder and more elusive. La Concorde was a ship carrying around 455 Africans in captivity, a dark episode of history that must be acknowledged. The vessel's hold would have been crowded, the air heavy with fear and despair. Each person on board had their own story, their own journey cut short by the cruel hands of slavery. This grim fact is documented in historical records, providing a stark reminder of the past. The hull of La Concorde bore witness to unimaginable suffering, its wood soaked with tears and sweat. The ship's voyage was a long, agonizing journey as it traversed vast distances under the relentless sun. Surfaces in the hold were likely rough and uncomfortable, offering little respite for those forced aboard. The true extent of this tragedy can only be grasped through the cold, hard numbers left behind. Each person in that hold would have experienced an unending nightmare, their freedom stolen and their future uncertain. The conditions aboard La Concorde were brutal, with barely any space for movement or comfort. This knowledge comes from the meticulous records kept by those who profited from such voyages, offering a chilling glimpse into the past. The harsh reality of slavery is etched into the very fabric of history, impossible to erase or ignore. Those in charge would have seen these people as mere cargo, their lives reduced to profit margins. The darkness and cramped conditions would have made it difficult for them to distinguish day from night. The silence of the hold must have been deafening, broken only by the occasional cry or whisper. The memory of this journey lingers, a reminder that history is not always kind. In the latter part of 1717, Blackbeard successfully captured a large French ship named La Concorde. The capture happened on open waters, far from any shore. This was not an easy feat. It required careful planning and execution. The ship's size alone would have made it difficult to overpower. La Concorde was likely full of goods and people, adding complexity to the takeover. It is known that Blackbeard and his crew managed this because historical records document the event. The ship's size and value were significant, making it a notable target for pirates like Blackbeard. Despite its formidable appearance, La Concorde could not withstand the attack. This capture demonstrated Blackbeard's strategic prowess and the determination of his crew. This capture illustrated Blackbeard's ability to assess and exploit weaknesses, turning a potential liability into an asset. The successful takeover provided his crew with valuable resources and leverage in the piracy world. Historical accounts detailing this event offer insight into the tactics employed by Blackbeard, helping to understand his strategies better. The capture of La Concorde remains a pivotal moment in pirate history, revealing much about the operational methods of that era. The takeover was accomplished through meticulous observation and calculated maneuvers, indicating a keen understanding of naval warfare. This incident underscored the importance of surprise attacks in maritime combat, showcasing Blackbeard's strategic acumen. Detailed logs from crew members have been instrumental in reconstructing this historical event, providing tangible evidence of the tactics used. Blackbeard's crew likely used superior firepower and tactical formations to overwhelm La Concorde. They may have targeted key areas such as the wheelhouse and masts to disable the ship's ability to maneuver. The capture was documented in crew logs, providing step-by-step accounts of the attack. These documents also mentioned the use of grappling hooks to board the ship, highlighting their preparedness for close combat. Blackbeard was confronted by Royal Navy soldiers and sailors, the primary opponent of his crew on the high seas. The Royal Navy, with its vast resources and reach, became a constant presence in Blackbeard's world. Their ships cut through the waves, seeking out the pirate who had become a thorn in their side. Blackbeard knew this threat intimately as he watched from his quarterdeck the distant sails of Royal Navy vessels growing ever closer. The confrontations were inevitable, each meeting marked by tension and the clash of steel. Over time, these encounters became more frequent, echoing through the annals of history as tales of defiance and power. The Royal Navy's relentless pursuit shaped Blackbeard's strategy, forcing him to remain ever vigilant. His experiences with these formidable opponents honed his skills in evasion and combat. Through each confrontation, he gained a deeper understanding of their tactics and weaknesses. The echoes of these battles etched lines of wisdom on his face, reflecting the hard-won knowledge of survival against overwhelming odds. Blackbeard adapted his strategies, learning from each skirmish. The Royal Navy's tactics were not infallible. Gaps could be exploited. His cunning grew with every encounter as he discovered their predictable patterns. Each near miss taught him more about the seas they sailed and how to navigate them safely. Blackbeard's tactics became a game of patience, waiting for the Royal Navy to make a mistake. He watched their formations closely, learning how to disrupt them. Each victory brought more knowledge. Each defeat offered lessons in humility. The miniseries premiered on Hallmark Channel on June 17, 2006. This date marks the first time viewers could experience the story unfold on their screens. The premiere was an event eagerly awaited by many, signaling the start of a journey into history. The choice of the Hallmark Channel indicates a focus on family-friendly content suitable for a wide audience. June 17 is a specific day in spring when days are long and evenings can be filled with new stories. Viewers tuned into their televisions, settling into their seats to watch as the tale began to unfold. This broadcast introduced many people to a story they might not have known before. It was an opportunity for viewers to learn about history in an accessible way. The choice of timing and channel helped ensure that the series reached a broad audience. Viewers could anticipate the next episode, looking forward to continuing the journey. Viewers could experience history coming alive in their living rooms, transported by the vivid storytelling. The broadcast schedule was carefully planned to align with family time, ensuring maximum engagement. As each episode concluded, viewers were left with a sense of anticipation, eager for more. The historical narrative was woven seamlessly into the evening's entertainment, blending education and enjoyment. The series became a part of many families' weekly routines, creating a shared experience around the television set. This regular appointment with history fostered conversations and curiosity among viewers. The story's engaging format made complex historical events accessible to all ages. Viewers found themselves drawn into the narrative, feeling connected to the past in a meaningful way. Mary Ormond, a young woman of 16 years from the Bath district in Somerset, was wed to Blackbeard, the infamous pirate. The marriage ceremony was presided over by Governor Charles Eden himself. A daughter of William Ormond, Mary hailed from a family with substantial landholdings, indicative of their elevated social status within the community. The plantation owner's daughter and the feared sea captain exchanged vows in the presence of distinguished guests. It was not just any wedding, it bore the imprint of governance, reflecting the interplay between power and matrimony. Blackbeard's choice of bride was a symbol of his aspirations for respectability amidst his piratical exploits. The union transpired in an atmosphere where political influence and personal connections were pivotal, setting the stage for Mary Ormond's life with one of history's most notorious figures. The union was a calculated move, signifying Blackbeard's desire to integrate into society. The governor's involvement underscored the political climate of the era. This marriage was not merely a personal decision, but a strategic alliance. Historical records and letters from the time provide insights into this event. This union marked a departure from Blackbeard's usual lawless behaviour. It signified his attempt to blend into civilized society, seeking acceptance among the elite. The historical documents that reveal this event highlight the complex dynamics of power and marriage in colonial times. Through this alliance, Blackbeard aimed to legitimize his status, moving beyond mere notoriety. This marriage served as a public declaration, aiming to transform Blackbeard's reputation. Through matrimony, he sought to forge ties with influential figures who could bolster his status. Contemporary writings and accounts have preserved the details of this ceremony, offering a glimpse into the intricacies of colonial society. This strategic union highlighted the intertwined nature of power and societal expectations during that era. And that is where we will leave Blackbeard for tonight. The facts will still be true tomorrow, and this video will still be here whenever you need it. Sleep well.